Deputy Coppinger, 4 minutes, Deputy.
Thank you, Catherlock. Well, Minister, I just wanted to correct a lot of misinformation and propaganda that's being perpetuated by our own government as well. There are no queues in Greece at ATMs. Absolutely none. What is clear, though, is that there's a concerted propaganda campaign by television, by media and by governments abroad to present a picture of chaos in Greece. I've spoken to people in Greece about the situation. There are not queues. There is not a panic and there is not a chaos. There is, however, an understandable fear as to what is going to happen. Because funds have been withdrawn to manipulate a yes vote in the referendum on Sunday and actually ultimately to try to bring about the fall of Syriza and a right-wing government in Greece. And that's been colluded in by our government, more than any other government in Europe, in fact, by the statements that you've been making. In the last couple of days, last week we had Michael Noonan calling for funding to be withdrawn from Greece in order to bring them to heel. This morning on the radio we had the Tánaiste Joan Burton conjuring up pictures from Africa of defaults and terrible chaos again, and lecturing the Greek government and the Greek people. This is a woman who's attacking the most vulnerable in our society with her social welfare cuts. And this morning the Taoiseach said that in the referendum there should be a question put that if they don't accept this, that they leave Europe. That's an absolutely outrageous intervention from Enda Kenny. Where's the solidarity we were told was part and parcel of this EU project? Instead, there's an ultimatum. It's the Troika's way. It's Troika tyranny or leave. I don't accept that it's walk away or bend to the will of the Troika. What we're seeing laid bare is the real nature of the EU now, with no solidarity whatsoever. We're seeing shocking treatment of workers and unemployed people in Greece who've dared to elect a government on a platform of ending austerity, who've dared to challenge the austerity juggernaut they've endured. And just let us be clear, the governments that got into this mess wasn't Syriza. It was parties like yours, New Democracy and PASOK, who've ruled Greece for the last number of decades. They're the people who brought about the financial crisis in Greece, not Syriza. And it was banks throughout Europe that lent that money to Greece. And the second point that needs to be made is that the Greek people have already undertaken every austerity programme that they've been asked to take, and it hasn't worked. It's brought about the highest suicide rate that they've ever had. It's brought about homelessness. It's brought about record levels of prostitution. And that is the situation upon you want to heap more structural reforms, as you call them. They're the parties who were in power. They're the parties who toed the line to the EU, and the central bank in the EU knew exactly what was going on. So in relation to the situation now, I don't know if there is going to be some kind of deal. The referendum that's due to be held on Sunday, I hope it does go ahead, and I hope it's a no vote. I hope the bullying and the blackmail that's been heaped on the people of Greece doesn't work. Employers in Greece, I've been informed from Greek socialists, are pressuring their workers to vote yes, making the same threats that you made to us on Lisbon and Nice, that foreign direct investment will pull out, pressuring their workers to go on yes demonstrations, and making all sorts of apocalyptic threats if the yes vote doesn't go ahead. And obviously the withdrawal of funds 2 days before the payment was due was designed to bring about fear of the abyss, fear of the unknown, to persuade people to vote yes. I hope that the left, that the workers' movement and that the people of Greece reject this blackmail, that they vote no, and that Syriza use that mandate to say, no, we will not pay any more of this odious debt. They need to nationalise the banks and run them in the people's interests, not in the interests of the ECB. They need to implement credit controls to stop the attack from the markets.
Thanks, Deputy.
And they need to redevelop their economy, but also, most importantly, Catherlock, they need to appeal to support from around Europe, which they clearly have in Ireland. There will be a demonstration at 6 o'clock this evening, and on Saturday from the Greek Solidarity Committee as well at 12 noon. And that's the kind of support that will force the ECB to lift the shackles off the Greek people.
Deputy Day.